Meeting is now streaming live on custom live streaming service. How do I reset that? That's what I'd like to know. How? My channel? Oh, come on now, videos. It should be live any second. Videos. No. Oh, come on. It's live, eh? View stream. Copy streaming link. Okay. Let's see if this is it. Boom. And let's go there. Open a new tab. Where am I? Oh, this is okay. Good. It's unlisted. And I'm live. All right. So here we are. Another live stream. Howdy. Just me, myself, and I, and this car behind me. Why that car? Well, I had one similar to that as my first car when I was 16. And it survived my high school antics. But it didn't survive much longer after that. No. Not long after that. And Denzel's live now. Well, That's a lovely flavor. And what flavor is that? It's called the Prophet. Fitting, I think, eh? And no, it's just boring. It's just like an open mic show. And in a way, it is an open mic show. Yeah. Let's see. Copy streaming link. Oh, no, I don't need that. And I'm already viewing the stream. So I hit that invite button. And I just pop it out there. Yeah, I'm in the mood. I'm in that mood. I don't know why. Who's up right now? Who's awake right now? Who is awake right now? And we'll post that. Now, I really need to tag somebody in it. Can I edit? Tag. There. Now, there's a tag. But I just posted publicly. So there you go. Just in case. Yeah, I don't know about Facebook Live. I mean, I was live on Facebook. But yeah, here I am. Good thing this is unlisted. I mean, if you can catch it now, hey, good for you. But when it's finished, it will be unlisted. And since I'm streaming using Zoom, I think I can turn off the chroma key here because I always like the Zoom background better. There we go. No, it doesn't that look a little better? I think it does. Yes, it's Robert in space. Now the only question is, who wants to join Robert in space? Together with the fog, that is. Don't mind the hat. Don't mind that hat at all. That's good. Oh, and Charles J. Stecker Jr., he's also live. Well, how about that? Okay, I don't know the answer to that one. If you put $1,000 into Ripple, which option will make you more in the long run? Buy, order XRP US dollars on Forex market, or buy an XRP at current price and holding? I think the first one. That's what I think. But that's just me. And I'm just learning about that stuff. Because believe me, there's one thing that I'm no longer qualified for. It's working for somebody else. There's no question about that. Let's see what this link goes. Ah. Mm-hmm. But I am live. It's not Memorex. And you know what? I used a lot better cassettes than Memorex. Just saying. Great commercial, though. Really good commercial. But I preferred the TDK SAX 90s or SAX 100s personally. In a pinch, Maxell XL2S. In a pinch, but most of the time it was TDK SAX all the way. Now come on, y'all. Don't be shy. Don't make me go into my secret group and grab some people. But I'm going in there anyways. Oh, yes, I posted that link. And I'm blowing that vapor. Let's see what Nick said. Oh, he liked my comment. Oh, yeah, that was about sneaking into the other parish and sneaking some wine before being the altar boy. Well, we all sleeping. Let's see what Charles is doing. Ooh. Well, I'll stay in here a little while longer. Ooh, I like that. Some older artwork. Minicam is still handy because it has filters. Let's see, do I want the filter? No. Do I want the distortion? Yes. Here I am. You can hardly see me because I'm going through a background and a distortion at 60 frames per second. Let me just turn off this virtual background on Zoom. Oh, what? You can't see me? Well, you can see me, can't you? Because I'm flying here. And you might say to yourself, what is going on with that dude? Well, you can keep on saying it, because as soon as you find out, you'll be the first to know. Ooh. It's just a mass of characters, but isn't that what we all are? Just a bunch of ones and zeros, all floating around. Do, 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 do. All by myself. I am, yes, all by myself. I am. But I shared it publicly and nobody's joining. No one is joining. Facebook must just be clamping down on me. Oh, yeah. But that's okay. It's quite all right. What's this? Oh, that's me. Oh, and it hasn't switched over. Let's make it live. One watching. Oh, well, that's pretty choppy. Facebook doesn't know what to do with all those characters. Perhaps I should turn that filter off. Yeah, that's it. Oh, no, don't you fall over. Yeah. Let's turn that filter off. And we'll go with, well, that was a distortion. And there we are. I think we can go with this better. 30 frames per second. What happened to my 60 frames per second? I guess it just went out the window. So, what y'all think of this one? I kind of like this one, personally. And I'm going to share. Am I going to share? Oh, it's freaky. But I have an option. Oh, Abby is very good at keeping things warm. Yes, she is. She is indeed. In a private message. One more chance. Mm. 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 I think. Mm. Okay. I think I'm going to lie down. Mm. Hey, I'm just looking at Facebook. Me, myself, and I. Now I could stream this to the Trail Dudes channel. I could, if I knew how to change my settings. Oh, wait, I've got an idea. I do. Let's go into the old Creator Studio right now. Well, the YouTube studio now. Always changing things. Creator Studio Classic. Live streaming. Yeah, there I am. Oh, yeah, baby. Now, there's the setup. And I know I'm streaming. And I'm the only one watching. Oh, God. 15 minutes now. Yeah, server encoder setup. Now, in the server URL and the string key, well, that's for that coming from YouTube. That's already been done through Zoom. How do I reset Zoom? I wish I knew. Advanced settings. No, don't click that. Okay, I won't click it. Add stream info. Optional features. Go live. Well, I'm already live. Anytime you send content, you're live. Well, thank you for that, Facebook. Oh, wait. Oh, someone else is watching. Maybe that's Nick watching now. And yes, I do have a filter or two applied to my stream. Now the link to join the stream, that link is on Facebook and in a private message. It's that Zoom link because I'm using Zoom to stream to Facebook. Because you can do it. Now, how to... What was Robert High? No. Robert is... Oh, here we go. Hello, Nick.
What's up?
Oh, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I can take this off. Zoom has excellent noise cancellation. And just go there. Oh, go to live. There you are. We're live streaming on my YouTube channel. Now it's unlisted. Anyone with the link can watch, and I can make it public later. But
Awesome.
I can edit it first because the first 15 minutes are me just mumbling to myself. And this filter might be distracting. I admit. Let me go to the effects. There's one. There I am.
There you are. Nice to meet you, Robert. This is the first time I've seen you face to face.
Yes, nice to meet you too. Oh, my hair is a little messy, which is why I had the hat on. Pull this hair through. And, oh, that looks really bad.
I really need to get a. I got some equipment coming, but I need a microphone like yours.
Oh, well, my equipment level is pretty basic. Well, except for the mic.
It's better than mine. I just got earbuds in, so I get it because I'm uploading all mine to YouTube, and then I want to grow that, and I want better clarity, and I'm also using the front face of my camera, which is not the best camera to use either. So it's not the best picture when I upload them to YouTube, but
that's true. Yeah, I just kind of stumbled onto the Zoom ability to stream onto YouTube because they just call it special streaming service, and I was like, what does that mean? I'm gonna click on it and see. And then I just saw the RTMP server and that, and I said, well, let me put my YouTube channel in there, one of them, that is, and boom, here it is.
Nice. How many subscribers? Can't talk. How many subscribers do you have on YouTube?
On this one, there's only a few on this one.
Gotcha.
Because this is a channel that came with my G Suite. Now my other one, there's only 250 some odd subscribers.
Gotcha. And they all came right now. I'm at 8. I'm just starting my YouTube. I neglected it for so long now. I'm actually putting because I'm downloading. I have an app that actually have tonight's downloading right now.
Well, I know a few people on YouTube. On
stuff. Do you?
I'd say yes. Now a lot of them live in Japan. They're expats living and working in Japan. One of them is the self-proclaimed godfather of J-vlogging, and that would be
Nice.
Give Me a Break Man, Give Me a Flake Man. That's his channel names, but it's Victor. His name is Victor.
Okay.
Another one, Hiko Simon. His name is Simon, but Hiko Simon is the name he's chosen for YouTube. Sundays he streams Tokyo Tonight, and it comes on because he's streaming at night in Japan. It comes on at 8:30 in the morning on Sunday, and that's currently and has been for some time my favorite YouTube show. He has a very soothing voice.
That's great. What does he talk about?
Mostly topics in and around Japan, like because he's Japan centered. He likes tech stuff and leans towards law because he is a lawyer.
Gotcha.
Oh, that may be a secret, but it's out now, Hiko. Sorry about that. And yeah, it's all good for that. And I'm going to choose a Zoom background because there I can be able.
That's awesome.
This is my favorite one. But this is a close second, and this is not a Zoom background. It's a Honda Grom. I want one. I want one.
I like how that literally. That's just a Zoom doing that.
Yeah, that's Zoom.
That looks like your background, like you're on like you have a green screen with a projection behind you.
Well, I do have a green screen. It's just green fabric. The whole kit with the frame and 3 different fabrics was $70 Canadian delivered from Amazon.
$70?
Yeah, that's Canadian. It? So what's that like? 50 US maybe?
Yeah. And it's good quality?
Yeah, it's good enough. Sure. And it survived my cat. And
that's
she can get really violent with things.
Yeah.
And
you got one of those too. Good.
I love cats.
Do you vape on?
I do vape. VGod Pro.
I got a iStick Power. Does that only do that on your the back screen because you have the green screen?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a Vupu Drag. These are awesome, by the way. Now I forgot the name of this one, but it's a DNA 250 chipset, and this is an Elite version 2 dripper.
Nice.
It's a 28 millimeter dripper, which it's a bit big, and it like 130 watts on this. For it to work half decent. Another one of my recent DNA 75C chipset.
Nice.
So you get the.
Do they have different? What makes you decide which one you're gonna hit?
They all have the same flavor in there.
Oh, gotcha.
Just variety. Oh, this is a Dead Rabbit dripper.
What's that mean?
That's the name of it.
Oh, gotcha.
It was a collaboration between a YouTube guy. Is it gonna focus?
Yeah.
Focus camera. Well, there's a dead rabbit on there. Trust me. This is my favorite tank right now. This is a 41 millimeter tank, Steam Crave Titan, which needs a coil change, which is why I'm not vaping on it because it tastes like paint thinner right now.
Ew.
It's got a series build in it, as opposed to dual parallel. So it's almost 1 ohm resistance. It can chuck some clouds. Look at this. This one has 7 wraps both sides on the build.
Nice. This is what mine looks like.
Oh yeah.
It's a little black right now, but
so's mine. Of
course. It looks like the zipper kind of wire. You know what I'm saying? Like
mine is like a stapled Clapton wire, and this is like a Genesis style RTA, I guess. So you have to do this because the wicks only goes down to the bottom.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm vaping this in voltage mode, so 4.5 volts. 0.2
I have it on
resistance.
66 watt, and I have 0.37 ohms.
Yeah, it's a little high in resistance because I did 7 wraps on each side. That's all I could fit in there. This one's like 0.19 ohms on this. This is, again, it needs to be cleaned, but it's a postless deck, very easy to wick.
Nice.
You can see my wick needs to be changed badly. Look at that.
Yeah.
But this was $36 Canadian. This little tank, this little dripper.
Are you in Canada?
I am in Toronto.
Gotcha. I heard Toronto's beautiful.
It can be.
That's where Bob Proctor lives.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But I'm quite happy to be here.
Yeah. I was invited to Toronto in February, but I couldn't make it. I was actually invited to Bob Proctor's home.
Wow. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I work with, I have a good friend, Darren Gibson. He's Bob Proctor's right-hand man, and I talk to Darren quite a bit. I have Lyndon Proctor's cell phone number.
Ooh, what's that? It's a Plymouth.
That is awesome. I want a damn green screen.
Yeah, it's nice. Move the mic out of the way. See, I had a Plymouth Satellite 2-door for my first car when I was 16, and it didn't look like that. It was maroon, and it had some rust, and I had to patch the floorboards and replace the timing chain in the brakes before it was roadworthy. But the car itself was $100, and $750 put it on the road thanks to the auto shop at school, and I drove that all through school, doing brake torques at every single stop sign because I thought that's what you were supposed to do. And I had one of those little tiny steering wheels. Mm-hmm. And I would go around right-hand turns, just like the police did on all those detective shows, with swinging the back end out. And so my car would look like it's going to tip over, and it's sideways. And miraculously, I survived high school without one ticket.
Awesome.
No speed.
You grew up in Toronto?
I grew up in many places, but fortunately, I was able to go to high school in one school, and that was Stephen Leacock, near Birchmount and Shepherd. I had lived in North Carolina just before that. And before that, I was in Pushland, which was out in the country, close to Guelph. And I had a lot of fun out there. That was great. And when we moved from there, I wasn't happy that we were moving to North Carolina. My mother's American. My wife's American. A lot of my relatives are American. But when I moved to North Carolina, to Clayton, North Carolina, and if that sounds familiar, that's because that's where Tai Lopez was lying on that couch in that mobile home. And I also laid on the couch in a mobile home. So when I saw that video, I was searching for someone for some guidance when he first put that video out. And I was like, whoa, I heard Clayton, North Carolina. And I wrote him a letter. I said, you had me when you said that. And I did the 67-step program. And that's a lot of information it throws at you. I was familiar with much of the initial lessons, like the Dale Carnegie and Napoleon Hill and Norman Vincent Peale, one of my favorite books, Enthusiasm Makes a Difference.
I have not read that.
Oh, it's an awesome book. And I still believe enthusiasm makes a difference.
Absolutely.
I remember one poor fellow that decided to import weights from China, because I used to work out until about 7 years ago, and my shoulder's still screwed up. I was in there and I was like, wow, these prices are so good. I mean, they're so much cheaper. They're cheaper than the plastic weights with concrete in them. And I was telling everybody at the gym, and I worked at the gym part-time at Gold's Gym in Mississauga. And I said, you got to go to the store, because he has Olympic weights. He has everything. Mm-hmm. I must have sent all of Etobicoke and Mississauga over there, because I'd go back over there to buy some more weights for myself. And he goes, I'm so busy now. I need a hand here. Do you want a job? And I was like, no, I didn't want a job. I had a full-time job, and it was like rotating hours. And theoretically, I knew my schedule, but at the end of the day, I really didn't. So I couldn't take another part-time job there. But yeah, I gave him so much business, he couldn't keep up with it.
That's good.
He had to hire some help, much to the chagrin of everyone else selling weights in the state, made from the States, imported from the States. Let's go back to San Francisco, shall we? Or
That's
not?
Beautiful. Yeah.
I've been
Golden Gate Bridge, right?
Mm-hmm. Let's see, Daisy Duke. Remember her?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
Oh.
That's not the best angle, but yeah, that's her.
So do you have a podcast? Do you go live a lot?
Well, I go live Saturday mornings, and it's an adult chat show. And that's been ongoing for 5 years. And the founder is Simon, and he lives in Belgium. And Simon and Dean, the other co-host, who lives in Adelaide, Australia. We've been doing it for 5 years. We get guests on every week. And we have a special time this week on Sunday because Starlet Shay will be on. And she's one of my favorite YouTubers.
Awesome.
Has been for a while. So when we have guests on, we generally let the guests carry the show.
Sure.
Because we got to know each other in front of an audience. That's how the show started. So I went through all my funny dating stories because I had a lot of them. Because I dated an awful lot. And it seems I have this thing for Plymouth Roadrunners, don't I?
Yeah. So.
Oh, I sure do. That's a face I fell in love with.
So is that projected onto your green screen? Or is that
no,
just working through the camera?
It's working through the camera. This is via Zoom. When you have a pro membership in Zoom, which is $15 US a month, you get to add a virtual background, and you can add your own photos. Which obviously I've scoured Google for pictures of Roadrunners.
You have to buy the webinar to go live, though, don't you?
No, you don't.
You don't.
I was thinking that too, and then I saw, they let you stream live to Facebook for work, and I don't have that. I don't have that because I just don't have the money for that. Oh, there goes the camera, and there's back again.
Yeah, I have 10% left. I might have to switch out and go to. I might have to plug it in. So I might have to just talk and not have my earbuds in.
Okay, no problem. But this is Zoom. You can add participants just with that URL that you clicked on.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can click on it again if you wish. But if you have to do something else, that's cool too. No, you can talk about enthusiasm or gratitude.
Can you? Yeah, I mean, that's a good one. Gratitude is the key to everything, right? Like, how do you tell if you got viewers?
Well, the YouTube channel actually. Watching YouTube, now.
As soon as my video's done downloading on my iPad, I'm going to go into your YouTube channel and like it, subscribe to it.
Okay. Yeah, this YouTube channel doesn't have much love because I don't even advertise it, and it's the same name as my longtime YouTube channel. Oh,
how many subscribers do you have on the other one?
252 on the other one.
Gotcha.
And I haven't been going for subscribers on that either.
How do you get subscribers on YouTube?
Well, my first video, another YouTuber at Golden State Saga, Jerry of Golden State Saga, said it would be really cool if you could make a video about work because I used to drive the subway. So I went to work and asked them, and they said they got back to me. Now, neither one of us, the supervisor I asked or myself, knew that we had a whole media department to go through. Mm-hmm. So they said, well, yeah, just make the video and you can't make any money on it. And I said, okay. So I shot a few pictures. I had footage of the tunnel and I did a voiceover. And it was about 12 and a half minutes long. And it got featured on Canada AM, a local national television show. Awesome. And I got 22,000 views on that before someone at work decided they didn't like it. After 2.5 years, it had been up.
22,000?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's okay for the first video. That's
okay.
Where a lot of my subscribers came from. They were transit fans. There's a lot of transit fans out there.
Wow.
And that's what it was. And I did one challenge, make a video every day for the month of April. And some of those videos weren't even a minute long. I just said what was on my mind. And inevitably, whatever it was something self-help, self-improvement related. Like when you first have a dream, when you have something that's exciting you, you have to protect it within yourself.
Yeah.
Because there are people that will steal your dream just like that. Just because they're not happy and they think if they're not happy, no one else around them should be happy.
That's right. Hurt people.
Yeah. No, I'm not like that. I mean, I love it when people are successful, especially when I know them.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like if you aren't rooting for other people to succeed, you're not going to succeed yourself. Because we're a mirror. Right? We're a mirror image. So what is within us is what we see in others.
Yeah, that's why I watch these live streams. Because I get excited. I get excited for these people, like Lauren Harris, his bathrobe moments.
Harris. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Not today because I had a bad.
I need to catch more of those. I don't catch a lot of his, but I love Lauren.
I was in bed all day with back pain. I am retired. I took early retirement from my job. But the day before, he had Greta on, and it was about gratitude, and she's a gratitude leadership coach. And boy, did I drop some love bombs in those comments. Oh, yes. And she's my friend on Facebook now, too. Yeah, gratitude is where it's at. I have license plates in my drawers here that say gratitude phonetically. No longer on this. That was on my last car. This car, I just took the plate that the dealer had. Although I like this car even better. I like cars. I'm a car guy. But I'm also a computer guy, tech guy. Now your battery must be getting pretty low.
Yeah, let me plug it in here. I'm just going to take my earbuds out.
Oh, and Zoom has great noise cancellation. So you could actually talk without the earbuds in. This is the theory. As you can see, I've got my mic. You're coming through my speakers. And yeah.
So I can hear you a little bit. You're a little quiet, but that's because...
Okay, I can get closer. Closer to the microphone.
You were perfect. Like, I love that mic has really good sound.
Yeah, we were playing around with it last night because I have so many friends in Japan. And, a lot of those YouTubers, they get over there and they look, it's a vending machine. It's Japan. This calls for a Diet Pepsi. And no, they are not a sponsor. I just like it.
You look professional there.
Thank you. You get used to it. But I've been on a few people's live streams. I was on Dr. PPP's live stream on Valentine's Day. I was prepared emotionally for that. So I told the story of how I met my wife, how I used the law of attraction. I used that faith of a mustard seed. The only second time I've ever used it. The first time I used it without realizing it, and I only realized it a year later. I had stood up. I was at a family dinner, and I stood up for some reason. I said, I don't know where the money's going to come from or any details, but 1 year from today, I will be in Tokyo. And then I sat down, and I promptly forgot about it. Well, someone at the table believed me. They believed with me. Because 1 year from that day, I was on a train from Chichibu heading to Ikebukuro to go to Akihabara to buy parts to build a computer for my girlfriend in Tokyo. So I was like, wow, oh, that really works. I had read a few books, The Tongue, A Creative Force, and Hung by the Tongue, both talking about how important your words are. Because they're like your seeds. You can plant them.
Yeah, I mean,
and like when I met my wife, well, actually, this goes back. I had been frustrated with online dating, and I had sworn off getting married again after my divorce. But here I was frustrated. I was so frustrated. I said to my friend, out of frustration, I said, why can't I meet someone that's just like me, except a girl? And when I said that, two things happened. It was like, boom. I was like, oh, I realized I have all the qualities of character I'm looking for in a partner. And number two, I actually want a partner. So I had some mental housekeeping to do because I was in some major depression then. And once that was ready, there's a fellow called Mully, and he's got a YouTube channel called Warmoth Strat. And he was doing a Christmas collaboration video where we had to say within 30 seconds what we wanted for Christmas. So I said in 30 seconds, I hope that anyone out there who's looking for a mate happens to you what happened to Mully when he saw Tomoko for the first time and thought, she's the one, including myself. And having said that, I knew I needed one person to understand what I had said and believe with me, and that person was Phyllis, a friend of Mully's. And once I saw that in the comments, I was like, boom, okay, 2013 will be the year I meet this person. And the only thing I need to do is be able to recognize her for who she is.
Right.
And meanwhile, we started the show. Simon had an idea for a show that was more involved with the audience, would more interact with the audience than the show that we had been watching where we met in the comments. So we started it. And one of the things that came up, I used to get kind of a premonition when someone new was going to come into my life, maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks before. And I asked Simon and I asked Ian, did this ever happen to you? And they said, no. Well, I said, it happened to me and it's happening right now. So mark my words, a week and a half to 2 weeks from now, someone new will come into my life. And a week and a half later, on a Wednesday, Sarah sent me the first message, which was a video that she had made that I inspired her to make about celiac disease, which she has. And I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah. And I looked at her video and I thought, she looks pretty young, like really young. And she was 26, but she was a graduate student, molecular biology, and she's a PhD candidate. And I thought, well, let's just see where it goes. We had her on the show as a guest a couple of times, and I was the one that helped her configure her webcam. And I just kind of pushed to have these little video calls every day. And she was a little wary at first, but I let her decide the pace. And this might sound familiar, but I waited until I was 38% sure that she was the one. And then I went for it. And by the time we met in person in September, we already knew we were going to get married. And in January 24th, 2015, we got married. And she wasn't able to come to Canada right away. And she got her PhD and she was working in her field. And the last thing she worked on was a paper for NASA. They did a study on how the radiation in space would affect the astronauts, the radiation that they currently are unable to shield against. And the conclusion was that a return trip to Mars would result in a reduced lifespan for said astronauts. And then she came here. And she's still here. She's in the bedroom applying for jobs because she kind of burned out in graduate school. Because Toronto's a good place to work for cancer research, but not if you've kind of burned out in the process of getting your degree.
Sure.
And so she's still looking. She took a boot camp in full stack developing, web development, and she seems to like that. But there's one thing that's missing, I noticed from a lot of millennials, and she is a millennial: enthusiasm. So I have to be her enthusiasm. And believe me, enthusiasm is something that I rarely see from her. She's rather subdued, I guess you could say.
Sure. What do you think causes that? What do you think is it not being in alignment with who we are?
Maybe,
or
I think
fulfilling our purpose? Because I feel like enthusiasm should come naturally.
It should. Now, she has self-image issues.
Okay.
And I do too. That's something I have to deal with every day. Because my childhood was no picnic. There was a lot of things that happened there. But I came through childhood and went into life. I had accepted that I was worthless and that I was a moron. And I just accepted it. Okay. And I just did it anyways. But it made for some awkward moments when one of the popular kids would talk to me and know my name. And I was like, how does he know my name? He's one of the popular kids. Sometimes it would startle me. And I got into lifting weights. They thought it'd be good for my confidence. It wasn't. Exactly the opposite. Once I enjoyed it, it was goal-oriented. I could do it by myself for the most part until I got stuck with some weight on my neck. So I went that same day, pushed the weight off, went down to Gold's Gym in Toronto, and I joined. I was up north in a grocery store, and this girl just stopped at me and she just went, and that scared me so much. I ran out of the store. I had no self-confidence whatsoever, but I looked damn good, I must say. I wish I had pictures. I was 185 pounds, and I had a 50-inch chest, 18.5-inch arms and calves, 28-inch legs, 29-inch waist, and I'm 5'8". So that was my best bodybuilding shape ever. Now I'm 260 pounds, so and a little flabby.
I don't know. Hold him up again.
I
Yeah,
don't know, they're about
you
17
got
and a
some
half.
muscle there for sure.
Yeah. Oh, there's muscle there, and I can still. I didn't know my own strength, and but I learned enough Taekwondo. I once accidentally threw my friend into the bushes. I kind of launched him off the sidewalk, and he went. Poof. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oops.
Because I was just like this, you know. I remember seeing a guy in high school. He worked at his father's factory all summer, and when he came back, he was thick all over. And I saw him launch someone across the hallway into a locker really hard. And I was like, "Wow, how did he do that?" And that's what I was talking about to my friend. And I said, he just went like this. Oh, and my friend was like, "Oh, wow, I can do that too." But my chest is, I have chest drawers disease now. My chest fell into my drawers, and got to work on that. Now I need a bra, and but yeah, it used to come out from here, but because
Sure.
my rotator cuff is almost completely torn, I haven't been able to do any kind of upper body work. And before it got to the almost completely torn spot, I tried to adjust my mother's fence with one arm, and I used to be able to do that. Just get the door so it would latch properly. Just lift slowly until you creak, 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 and it would shift, and then you could do it. Well, I did that. I started lifting, and bing! Oh, fuck. And that was the end of that. But I did a 12-week experiment, as Ty Lopez likes to call them. I did push-ups just against like something that was waist level, so not full push-ups. I used the bar to hold on to. This was all in the cab while I was guarding on the train, and I simulated leg press. I didn't do more than 8 reps. I did like 3 sets of 8 reps, and then some isotonic kind of exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And in 12 weeks, I gained 10 pounds. My back muscles woke up again. And apparently my ass must have looked really good because this guy was poking it one day on the way home. And I'm standing there with my wife. And he said, "Did you just touch my butt?" "No." "Well, someone's touching my butt." And I saw this Asian guy. And he looked kind of slimy. But he had been poking me in the ass. "What the fuck are you?" And I get off, and then he had to take one more shot as I get off the train, and he hits the fucking bullseye, and he's just there. I just felt like backhanding him, but the train was packed full of people, and I'm not much of it. I don't really go around hitting people either. I usually go about go after somebody the mental way. I am very logical, and I like to tear people's excuses apart if they offer them.
Isn't that fun to do? I mean, it being able to do that is, hey, but that's helpful to people.
Yeah, like I always say, if you're going to use an excuse, I just pick one and use it, because anyone will work as long as you use it. It doesn't matter what it is. Excuse me.
You're good.
I have
excuses are they definitely they don't serve a single purpose other than keeping us in shit.
Yeah, I have runny nose syndrome. My whole family has it, especially when it's dusty or dry. So usually we have tissues close by, and I don't. But it should be okay. It shouldn't be too bad. But when I go out from the cold into a warm, my nose runs. And
I have the same problem, actually.
That used to be annoying in school. And when it was hot outside and the air conditioning was cold, I remember one exam I was writing. The whole exam, I'm going, and we were in the lunchroom, and it was big and echoing. People were so angry at me because they said, "Can't believe it. For an hour and a half, all I heard was, I better not fail because of you." And I said, "If you fail, it's your own fault for not knowing the subject." And I wasn't too involved other than that in high school. I went there that's where my friends were. And I didn't do homework. I didn't even bring my books home.
Yeah. I relate to that for sure.
But I did okay. I mean, I got a B average. And then they say B students wind up working for C students, and I think that's how it went with me. I mean, I went into the family business first, but the recession in the late 80s really killed that whole industry. The part that I was in, the plastics decorating. I used to
Right.
do silk screening. And yeah, it was that every shop was deserted and closed by the after that had gone through. And I was looking for a job, and I said, well, the transit company really has a good pension and they pay well. And after my fourth application there, the second interview, I got a job selling tickets downtown at the bus terminal. That was a lot of fun. Then I got laid off for 3 months, came back there. Then it was telephone information. That was not the best place for me to work. But I worked there for 3 years, and I had to work hard to do well there, but I did. My wife was there. Now, she could take 400 calls a day. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
For me, the best I ever did was, I could average just over 300 a day, but that took full concentration the whole day. But that's what I did. I got up to that point, and that was considered superior work. But she was just on another level. I have no idea how she could do that. And then I went driving, and I almost didn't. But I remember I was driving a 60-foot articulated bus on a busy route, and it was a beautiful day in the summer, and everyone was happy to see me. And I thought, oh, I've died and gone to heaven. This is the solid job that I've been looking for. And it didn't quite last as long as I needed it to. And so I left in September. I was having anxiety attacks at least once a week, so I would be off work. And they told me
that?
I was at the end. I was driving the subway since 2002, okay. But I did the bus and I did the streetcar. And if you're operating a streetcar in a busy city, you get very, very good at defensive driving because you don't have any options except to try and stop. And you can take that with you. It basically means when I'm driving on the road, the potential for anger is there in abundance when I see people doing stupid things around me. And that used to be an issue too. But they changed my medication, brought me down because I was living life with the volume turned up to 11. And I knew it. I was up almost all the time because, being happy was something new to me. I wasn't happy until I got married. Someone at work who knew me over 20 years came up to me and said, wow, I'm so glad that you're finally happy after all these years. And I had thought that after I got my meds sorted, I was happy. No, I was just kind of normal, but I thought that was happy. And then once Sarah came around, then I knew I was happy. And the medication I was on, one of them was modafinil. That one had some side. It's an upper. They prescribe it generally for a sleep work disorder or sleep narcolepsy. Mm-hmm. And it's not quite a full-on amphetamine. They're not exactly sure how it works. But two of the side effects which would manifest themselves to me were excessive confidence and delusions of grandeur.
Excessive confidence.
Every day that would happen. And I was okay with that.
I was going to say, how is that detrimental?
Well, when they say excessive, they mean extreme. And if you're familiar with Star Trek: The Next Generation and Will Riker specifically, number one, no. he was a ladies' man, very suave, very confident, and he always had a smile and a twinkle in his eyes for any lady that he saw, of any race, alien or otherwise. Mm-hmm. I used to get on the back of the train when I was finished, and the whole train is open. I'd walk to the front of the train, purposely, my foot would impact the floor harder than it needed to. People would look up, and if it was a lady, I'd have a twinkle in my eye and a smile for her as I walked through. So I'd strut through the whole train doing what I called the Riker. Always an eye for the ladies and a smile. And I was so, inside, I'm completely tickled to be doing that. And nobody complained about that. And I would get up there and I would tell people, oh, I love doing the Riker. And they're like, what? And I explain it to them and they start laughing. But that was just me. That's what I did. I would be so ramped up on the modafinil that sometimes I'd forget to breathe as I was walking. So by the time I got up there, I was completely out of breath. And I'm trying to talk, but I can't because I'm so excited, but I can't breathe because I forgot to breathe. When I was taken off of those and Wellbutrin and Abilify, it was as though I had this I could feel warmth here. And I would reach in there, in my mind, whenever I would talk to someone new. And when I used to ride the bus and train home, I always knew I was going to meet someone new every time. And I'd look forward to that. Whether I broke into a conversation with some humorous remark, which I was good at doing. Not at first, but I got better as years went on. That's what I look forward to, meeting someone new every day. Yeah. And that was gone. It was like there was a deep pit in my chest just of emptiness. And it felt like someone stole my soul. And that was the first day of no longer working. They told me that it couldn't come back unless I could guarantee I wouldn't have any more anxiety. And if I had proof of that, then that would have gone to court. But I don't. Needless to say, I didn't go back. And I only had one anxiety attack since I left. And that was because I had to sit for jury duty. And I didn't feel I was quite ready, mentally prepared for that. And the Ministry of Transport requires me to have a mental health assessment once a year because of the medication I'm on. And they decided they didn't like the doctor's report and wanted it verified that I had been symptom-free for 3 months. And that was like the week before I was to go to sit for jury duty. So I said, okay, this is not going to work. So I wrote a very detailed, lengthy letter to the court officer requesting it to be excused from jury duty for these reasons. And I attached all my documentation. And I wasn't shy about naming the Minister of Transportation or my company for letting me revisit the anxiety attack I had that morning. And when I got there, there was a lot of people, maybe 1,500, 1,750 people in this huge room. And I was one of the ones who went to a reserve table for the medical excuse. Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay, who am I going to talk to today? And from a distance, I could feel him. His name was Horace, 82 years young. But I went and sat down and I introduced myself. And I said, is it okay if I talk to you? And he said, yeah. So we had a nice long chat until I went completely hoarse. And then I had to adjust my voice because I didn't have water. And adjust it down, modulate it down. And then I was able to tell him completely the time frame, how I met Sarah, and a few other things. And he said, you should be a motivational speaker. You'd be really good. And I fell asleep because that happens to me too, around 11:30. And Horace is waking me up. Robert, they're talking about you. The fellow who's making announcements to the whole room, and he said, all I caught was something about TTC. And then, yes, because of that, this entire room, all of you are excused from jury duty for the next 3 years. And everyone's going, yay. And I was like, did I do that? Because I went in uniform, my uniform jacket, because that's the only one I have that's warm. My leather jacket fell apart last year, and I worked most of the time anyway. So, and I actually like the uniform jacket. The new ones are pretty good. So I thought, oh, wow, I did that. So I rode with Horace back to where he went on the subway, and I went up to where I parked my car, and I went home, and I thought, So I got the whole room excused from jury duty. How about
awesome.
That? Yeah. It's, these things.
Powerful.
These things only happen. Weird things happen to me sometimes. They're not bad things. They're generally unexpected. And, but hey, they keep on going. They happen once in a while, but they only happen when I put myself out there.
Yeah.
And
outside of your comfort zone, right? That's where.
Yeah, like
magic happens.
Yeah, I could have been deep in depression all last year, and maybe even suicidal. Well, I was for a while, but I decided with everything that I felt was being heaped on my head by someone upstairs at my company, the more they heap this stuff on me, the kinder I'm going to be to the passengers, the more helpful I'm going to be to them. and I called it Full Metal Jacket customer service.
Yeah.
And word got out. People would come up to me and start to ask me for help just to see if it was really true. As soon as they saw that it was, they say, okay, thank you, and leave. And I'd be like, what? Yeah, one woman, Antonia, she said, oh, I'm your friend for life. I happened to share my lunch with her one morning. I was talking to a graphic artist while he waited for his bus, and she came up and she just started chatting to both of us. I thought, oh, she seems really friendly. And so I said, good morning. I said, are you hungry? And I had a box, a plastic container with 4 submarine sandwiches in it. And she goes, yes. So I gave her one. And Dex started to laugh. And I said, oh, I've got some pop for you too. And I had some Diet Dr. Pepper. And he laughed even harder. But she was going to write her social services exam. And I saw her about 3 weeks later. And she goes, do you remember me? And I thought, do you work at Sick Children's Hospital? And she goes, no, you shared your lunch with me. Oh, how did your test go? And she got 95%. And she goes, you're so kind. And that was the first time I heard that said, but it wasn't the last time. But you'd see people, there'd be a group, and you know someone's talking about me, and oh, there they are. One person's going to come over and check it out, see if I really am like that. And I was, and I had that. I was there every day, and the first 3 weeks were hell until the supervisor said, you know, you're here to get better for you. So you do whatever you have to do. You're here at the beginning. You'll be here at the end. Whatever you do in the meantime, if you want to go for walks or whatever, go for it. So I had it set up. The day would fly by. I looked forward to going there. And then I got put back on the train. And that was good too. Once I'm on a train, I had no stress. Mm-hmm. It used to be it's a stressful job. But I decided, well, what can I do? Because time would fly so fast. Months were starting to fly by. And I was concerned about that. I said, well, what happens when I retire? I don't want months flying by, or even days or weeks flying by. And I realized that the weekends last longer than the weeks in my perception, because I did the show on Saturday. We had an after show, and there was the Sunday show, Tokyo Tonight, and then I would do an after show for that. And, what's different about that? So I divided my tasks, because I divided it up into things I could take pride in doing. Mm-hmm. Like if I stopped the train well, I could say, yes, you did that well, and take pride in that. And I didn't tell anybody I was doing this.
Right. Affirmation.
And if I got the doors, mm-hmm. if I did the doors just right, and I was very good at doing that, I got into a zone. I could deny, because when someone's coming that's going to hold the doors, and I just reach out and sense when trouble was coming and get those doors shut, and we'd be out of there. Because that's how you make up time. If you're efficient on the doors, you make up time. So I had so many opportunities to take pride in what I was doing, every station, that all the stress just melted away until there wasn't any. And I got along fine with the people at Transit Control, because we're both on the same page. We're trying to run transit system. Things that other people did in management, I don't know why they were doing it, but it had nothing to do, in my opinion, with running the transit system. Mm-hmm. And it's a miracle that it runs as well as it does, in my opinion. But it's a great system. People complain about it, but they're a vocal minority. And they don't have they haven't been in other cities to know that ours is really well integrated and it runs well. If I was going downtown, I would take the train, because it's just that much better. And parking is expensive.
So I've never been there, but
yeah,
I imagine. Also, cities parking's pretty expensive, isn't it?
Oh yeah, if you can find it. Sure. And I don't drink anymore, but when I did, if I was going downtown to a club or something, I was going downtown to drink, and I certainly didn't need to be driving.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'd be one of those guys on the subway that's giggling.
I've actually never been in the subway either. That's something I got to experience. Never been in the subway, never been to Toronto, but I'm going to change all that. I plan on experiencing a lot more.
Especially if you can meet Bob Proctor, that would be awesome.
I'm going to meet Bob Proctor.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet Bob Proctor. It's going to happen. But Robert, it was good being on here. I do got to hop off.
Well, thank you for joining me. Thank you very much. And thank you for putting on those live streams.
You're welcome. And I appreciate you stopping in and interacting and
Yeah, it lifts me up. If I can do something that leaves someone feeling a little better about themselves after our interaction, that lifts me up, and that kept me out of depression.
That's key. Yep, me too. I relate.
All right.
Yeah. We'll talk again. Let's do this again. We can get on another live again. Maybe I'll pull you on my live too.
Yeah, we could run it from Zoom and then share it on Facebook, and then people can. But I know there's a way to share it directly to Facebook, but I haven't been able to take my YouTube settings out of Zoom yet. I have to find out how to.
Well, you have both, but you have to. I had Zoom for a long time. I ran a show for 4 months, and what I had to do was pay the monthly webinar plus your monthly other. It adds up to $54.99, but it allows you to stream live to YouTube as well as Facebook, and you can select which one. On your Zoom website, you can select which box you want to stream.
Like I can actually use, if I don't mind lower frame rates, I can stream to Facebook and more than one YouTube channel at the same time using Manycam. And that's what was giving me the other filters.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is Zoom, and like I was, one of the filters I like using just when I'm in a chat. It's a distortion, they call it. The effects, and I'm just trying to go down there. Here we go. Distortions. This one's my favorite. Boom. There we go.
That's really cool.
Yes.
Is that what Anonymous uses?
I don't know. I haven't watched a recent video of theirs.
They use that green distortion. It's so cool.
Oh, I lost the effects, but there are quite a few effects. You can add some flames into that, or I like the burning effect too. If I could get up there. Yeah, you move around and everything's on fire.
That's so cool. Can you do that with you can't do that with your guest either?
My what?
The guest. When you have a guest on, it doesn't affect. You can't get it to affect theirs.
It probably could if I can capture the Zoom window and stream it from Manycam. And that's where the frame rate will drop because all the processing has to be done on my computer instead of in the cloud. And that's where Zoom comes in. Zoom really helped out. We streamed our last show using Zoom because my guest from Scotland, my friend Tom, couldn't join us. No matter what we tried, he couldn't get into the same Google Hangout as we were, even though he was on a Samsung Galaxy and everything. So we had him join the Zoom meeting, and I streamed the Zoom meeting. And it was very smooth, and even Simon's frame rates that can be low because he likes to pour on the effects. His frame rates, someone has said, oh, even Simon's more than 10 frames per second. Yeah, so Zoom is awesome as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I love Zoom. I'm going to get it back and do mine that way. But I'm going to hop off here. Robert, let's do this again.
Yeah, I'll just end the meeting here.